Hello everybody, welcome back to INSANEBRIT Gaming. I am the INSANEBRIT, and today's topics, we're going to be talking about E3 2018, my reaction. We're going to be looking at lots of trailers and stuff like that, but first of all, I want to talk about a lot of different things at the beginning of this video before I actually get into the trailers, because it's very, very interesting, and I want to put my points across now because I don't want to go into the trailers and then all of a sudden I've forgotten what I wanted to say. And there's a lot to say here. First and foremost, I am quite impressed with Xbox's press conference. A lot of people have not been impressed. I, however, was, especially from last year, which was fucking dire. If you remember, they had a press conference, saw Sony came out first, like a fucking champ, by the way, and Xbox started to panic and started to add more shit to their press conference, right? So we watched the press conference last year, and then I was like, you had fucking less than this? What the fuck? It was shit. It was garbage. I give it like a 2 out of 10. It was terrible last year. Now, this year, they pulled it out the bag, at least for me, because I was not expecting what I saw. So we'll get into a few details, and I'm going to talk about the games. I'm not going to show trailers for, because there's a lot of details here, because there were a lot of things to say. So first and foremost, I'm not going to be showing you all the games. I'm going to show you a majority of them, but I don't think I'm going to be showing you all of them. I haven't even done the math of what I'm going to show you, but apparently 50 different games were shown, 18 exclusives. Okay, that's quite a lot. So I'm quite impressed with that. Obviously, every E3 you can't do that. You're not going to show 50 games. I don't believe that. I mean, that would be nice, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think that's going to happen. I think maybe like 25, 30. But you've got to have at least that much to impress, do a decent press conference. So I'm going to address a few games that are already out, and they're saying they've got expansions and stuff like that. So first and foremost, I don't know the companies they've bought, but they've bought 5 new studios. They've brought 5 new studios. I can't believe that. What a coup for Microsoft. I don't know all their names, but I know one of them was Ninja Theory. The guys, I believe, that make Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is on Xbox. Now, allegedly, I was thinking maybe they've stolen that from PlayStation, because it was originally a PlayStation game or whatever. However, from what I understand at this point, or the listings or whatever, is that the next Devil May Cry game will be on the PlayStation 4. Now, how do I put this? Okay, so the game is on PlayStation 4 as well as Xbox now. You own it, therefore PlayStation fans are going to give you money. Well, that's good. You're tapping into your opponent's fan base, because it was always a PlayStation game, so there's loads of fans on that side. So you don't want to say, oh, we don't want your money, because that's the way it kind of works. But it kind of is. And let me explain. So basically, it's good that your competitors' fans are now giving Microsoft money directly, but at the same time, Microsoft and Bill Gates don't really care about, well, they care about money, but they don't care about that kind of money. What they want to do is, I suppose what they want to do in the future is basically have that company make them exclusives, because you're not solving your exclusive problems there. You are not. You bought 5 studios, and in the future, hopefully they'll be exclusive to Xbox. But now you've got Ninja Theory and they make a game, Devil May Cry, and now it's on the PlayStation or Xbox, I can just buy it on PlayStation. So in the future, they're going to have to ramp that up and just say, look, we can tap into the PlayStation market and get money, but at the same time, that's not what you want. You don't want that a little bit of money. What you want is for people to say, man, that game looks great, I've got to buy an Xbox, and jump ship or have both consoles in the end. That's what you're going to have to do. They also came out and announced a new creative studio, whatever it was. I don't know, they're building a new studio. So you've got these 5 studios, and you've got this one they're creating or whatever. And I'm thinking, you should have done this 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. This is near the end of the console generation, and you're finally trying to pull snack out the bag, and it's too little too late. This console generation is lost, I feel. in respects to games. I mean, they're trying something, but it's nearly too late. We've got 1 or 2 years left of this current generation, and we'll have to buy it for next Xbox or next PlayStation. Okay, so they've got 5 new studios, so it is exciting for them in the future, hopefully, in regards to that. Let's talk about a couple of other things here. Nier Automata is coming to Xbox, which is basically, I mean, I've played it, completed it, and it is a great game. I'm not going to show you a trailer of it, because it's already out forever. But basically, you've stolen that from PlayStation. I hope that does become a series, because I am interested in the world, even looking into it further. But whatever. Next, we've got a Sea of Thieves expansion coming out. I'm not interested in Sea of Thieves in the slightest. Should have had this expansion already, or should have been in the game already. I won't even lie. Don't really interest me in the slightest. Let's see what else they've got here. Again, I'm just addressing some of these issues that I wanted to talk about. Well, the rest of them is just more or less games. But, like I said, I was quite impressed with the press conference. It's better than last year. I've been rambling on for 6 minutes now, and I haven't shown you any footage. But I think the first game we're going to be looking at is Halo Infinite. So let's take a look at Halo, which, again, it's no particular order, but I know Halo was the first game they came out with, so let's have a look at that.
Games play best on Xbox One.
Alright, so we just had a look at Halo Infinite, the new Halo game coming out. Beautiful, stunning backdrop. It almost looked like, to me, Halo 1. It just did, like, with all that green, like, you know, like a forest area and whatever. Open space, and then you had the thing on the planet you saw going up of the actual Halo ring in itself. And you saw Warhog going down there, down the road or whatever. Not a lot of information other than the fact that, you know, Chief is in it. It looks like Halo 1, like a remaking of Halo 1. I don't know, maybe they've gone back to the original Halo. I don't know. I can't remember all the ins and outs of the story. I haven't played all the Halos. That's not because of choice. I didn't have an Xbox. I will have to go back to it. I've been playing for the Gears series a lot. And I'll get to Gears as well in a little bit. But I have to go back to Halo and play Halo 2. on the Xbox One S, which I'll be doing at some point, definitely very much in the near future at this point, because that's I've got to get back to it, because I've got to break that game down, that series down even further, to tell that part of the story, because I haven't seen it, so you know what I mean, and I'll share it with you guys. But definitely happy about Halo coming out. I mean, that's one more game added to the exclusive list. You knew it was coming anyway. They've changed it from Halo numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to Halo Infinite, which I'm not too sure what that means. I wouldn't have minded them calling it Halo 6. And then the next one, because you know there's probably going to be a next one, right, for the next console generation, called it Halo Infinite then. And then that would have made more sense to me, because Halo 7 sounds weird. Really weird. I don't know. I would prefer... I mean, Assassin's Creed have done it for years. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Unity. So... there's all these names and things they can go under, but I think Halo 6 would have been the one last in terms of the numbers, if that means anything to you. I don't know, it is what it is. But yeah, definitely looking forward to Halo. Let's have a look at my list. What am I going to talk about next? I may talk about Fallout 76. Bethesda has their press conference there, said it was being done in, oh man, where is it? Hold on, Montana. So I think I'll be talking about that one next.
Pre-order now or play with Xbox Game Pass at launch.
Okay guys, I was supposed to be showing you Fallout, but I think I might leave that for another video. I don't know, it depends. I just showed you Forza Horizon there. Xbox exclusive, not very interested in it myself, as I'm not a racing car fan. However, I am having trouble downloading some of these trailers and stuff. I was going to show you Kingdom Hearts, but before I get into talking about Kingdom Hearts, I will say that Forza Horizon does look good. The weather's changed and the environments, but I think that's been done and seen and done before already in racing car games. I'm not sure what they do every single year or every 2 years or whatever with the racing in itself. Again, not a huge fan of it, but it does. I always appreciate what they look like. They are really good games, and Gran Turismo is another one. I don't know if it's just for PlayStation. I think it is. I don't know, but I believe that the company that makes Forza Horizon has been acquired by Xbox as well. Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, this is a Disney game, or it's made by Disney, Pixar, blah blah blah. Well, it's those two collaborations, those two companies. It does look like an interesting game. It was originally a PlayStation-only game, and now it's being shown on Xbox, so it's being bought and whatever, you know, it can, well, not bought, but you know what I mean, it's on both consoles now. So they've kind of stolen that one as well, away from PlayStation. Also, they did the same with Tomb Raider, which we'll be having a look at that trailer, and that to me looks like an epic trailer. So join me for that trailer if I can manage to download it, as it were.
Spirit of my silence, I can hear you, but I'm afraid to be near you, and I don't know where to begin, and I don't know where to begin.
It's just me, Captain Spirit. This is Chris to the Flying Fortress. Have you spotted Snowmancer? Not yet. Keep me posted.
Chris, breakfast.
Okay, Dad. You're drinking beer?
I don't need a lecture from my son.
I always get picked last for the team at school, and they never throw the ball to me.
They can't tell stories like you can they?
No way. Start the launch. Too late! Emergency!
You're too weak to fight me.
This time, you won't get away from me.
He was gonna get it done. And it's alright.
I miss Mom's smile.
Me too.
Nobody's friend.
You're probably gonna change the world.
Just
I hope so.
I know so.
but I really doubt.
Captain Spirit is here!
I think you're a vision.
The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Download for free from June 26th.
Okay guys, I was supposed to be showing you Tomb Raider, but in the end, depending on which one comes in first, I'm just going to show you the first one that comes in, and it was Captain Spirit, that game. It's in the Life is Strange universe, or the people that made it. I don't know if it's the same town. That would be kind of interesting. And I feel that it's a very light-hearted game. I don't see any, or at least at the beginning, I couldn't see any dark undertones about the actual game itself, the premise, or something happens, or blah blah blah. Because that's the kind of game I normally like to play. You know, Heavy Rain, Life is Strange. There's always some kind of dark element to those types of games. Thought-provoking or unusual, you know what I mean, like, you know, some kind of mystery, and that may be the case, but we didn't really get a hint of that. The only thing we got a hint of from what I can tell from the trailer is that this is you play as a boy who lives with his father. I think his mum passed away, and you know, he's a bit of a nerd. He doesn't get picked for the teams, you know what I mean, that kind of rhetoric, and he's in his own little world and in a world of imagination, and a kid's imagination is limitless, you know what I mean, like I said, flying spaceships, fighting robots, all these kind of things going around in the universe, and I think it's going to be like a heartwarming story between a father and his son, you know, in a difficult time when they're just alone. Dad seems to be drinking, and maybe they help each other go through that situation and cope. I don't think it's just going to be for Xbox, because it's a Life is Strange universe. I think that's going to be for PlayStation 4 as well. I definitely will pick it up because I'm interested in those types of games, so I will probably pick that up on the PlayStation 4, ironically, because that's where I do 99% of my gaming. But having said that, I don't, you know, like I said, no dark undertones from what I can see, other than maybe it's just a heartwarming story, or, you know, a story of a father and son struggling to cope with the loss of their mum. Interesting, no doubt about it. Different from what I expected. Weren't too sure if they was going to have the same characters in Life is Strange universe or go a completely different route. If they went a different route, I thought it was going to be teenagers, and they haven't. They went with a young boy, you know, struggling with growing up. And I think that's an interesting concept. It's not something that a game I've played. So it's different, and I will be looking forward to playing that. I don't know what game's going to be coming up next, so give me a minute, guys.
I thought I knew why I came here. I saw it. The end. It was so vivid. But now the truth feels further away than ever. I still have so many questions. You said you were going out, but I heard you through the wall. I said don't go far. You had me searching for a reason, but I was in the dark. We can't let Trinity get hold of this.
Let's think this through.
Do you realize the tragedy you have unleashed? The cleansing has begun. It falls to me now to stop it before it consumes us all.
What have I done?
We have to trust each other.
I speak He wants to alter the course of humanity. If you had that power, what would you do?
And that was Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Looked like a great game. Looked like a great game. I haven't played the second one yet. I have played the first one. I have to get to the second one and I'll play this one. But it looks very, very good. Action-packed. It looks like we've got the cast of characters from the first game. Again, I never played the second one. Maybe they were in that. Looks reminiscent of Uncharted, and I'm hesitant to say that because Uncharted came after Lara Croft. But you see the climbing there and everything. I'm interested to see how her character has developed even further. Obviously a lot stronger, but then again, I'm speaking from the perspective of the first game. I've not played the second, and then, you know, got the third. Looks like she's after an artifact, and they cannot allow someone to get hold of it because they changed history, changed the world, whatever, you know, some catastrophe thing going on that's always there. It looks like a beautiful environment, lots of good backdrops. Artwork looks stunning. But yeah, it reminds me a lot of Uncharted, but again, I'm hesitant to say that because, like I said, Lara Croft came before. I like the reboot. I know they've modernized it a lot. Maybe you can call it, dare I say, for the casual, but I don't give a shit. I still enjoy the game in itself, and that is on my channel if you want to check that out. But yeah, definitely a game I'm going to be picking up, but I will be playing the second one at some point before that comes out, hopefully.
So you're awake. Looks like death is not your fate. Just yet. Some time has passed since I found you. Your master still lives. They'll soon make use of his bloodline. The limb you have lost will give way to something more useful. You'll learn to appreciate its worth.
Now that trailer was fucking awesome, wasn't it? I haven't spoken a lot about gameplay. The name of this game is, hold on, let me just check here. No, here we go. Sekiro, Cairo, whatever, Shadow Die Twice. Yeah, the pronunciation sucks. All these names of the Japanese anime, some of the original names is crazy. But whatever, never mind the name or the pronunciation of it. This it's funny how Assassin's Creed have come out with with a Japanese game, Assassin's Creed, over the past 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden at this E3 we get this Japanese game with samurai and I don't know what else, man, really. I mean, it's just all samurais, that time period. That's what we wanted for the longest time. And they're fighting, the actual combat. As I said, gameplay I haven't spoken about much, but the gameplay looks actually fun. Reminds me of Devil May Cry, without the guns, obviously, you know, just a sword play and stuff like that. But it looks goddamn awesome. Different array of weapons, different ways of getting around buildings and stuff. I don't want to say reminiscence of Assassin's Creed, but you'll be on rooftops. I mean, you are a ninja, or some kind of element of that. It is ancient Japan, where ninjas were used to assassinate you know, people who were emperors and God knows what, you know, politicians especially. Ironically, in Japan, if your ancestors were ninjas, it's actually an embarrassment. People find it as dishonorable to go in and slit your opponent's throat in the middle of a dead of night. You know what I mean? It's actually a very taboo thing. But anyway, I'm just talking about one element. I mean, we haven't really seen ninjas, but I assume it's going to be in there. The samurai look badasses, fighting on horseback, or, you know, you take on these bosses. They look big and strong and very unique looking. Definitely a game I'm interested in playing. It's funny because it had Japanese subtitles and it was in English, so I assumed it's dubbed. Well, yeah, it's dubbed. Thank God, because ordinarily what happens is they seem to have these games that look really fantastic, Japanese games. I won't lie, they all look fantastic, but the problem for me is either the gameplay sucks or the it's not dubbed, and I'm like, I don't want to read the whole fucking game, so it kind of puts me off buying some of those games in itself. Having said that, this is, I don't know if it's just an Xbox exclusive. I don't think it is, but even I think PS4 have a Japanese game, and that may be an exclusive. I'm unsure of that. Either way, but we're getting 2 Japanese games. One's going to be better than the other. Don't know which one, or maybe they're both great. But this one here, I'm loving the look of, and absolutely looking forward to playing. And don't know if it's going to be a multiplayer or whatever. I don't really care for it. I just want the story, whatever it may be. And by the sound of it, it's a guy who's lost his army going after revenge, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to spoil too much. I'm not going into too much in depth into every single trailer, because it's going to kill it for me. And things will leak out in the next couple of months as well, so hopefully that game don't get delayed. But don't look like it will be. It's already done. Don't know when it comes out though. No release date. Or I didn't catch the end of a trailer, actually. Maybe there was a release date, but it's definitely one to look out for.
Dying Light 2 features a functioning ecosystem that reacts on multiple levels to the things you do and the choices you make. In the example we're about to show you, our protagonist undertakes a mission for the Peacekeepers, one of the many factions active in the city. They want you to negotiate with 2 survivors who are controlling and hoarding a water supply.
Are you going to insult us with another final offer?
Let's say you choose to carry out the Peacekeepers' orders, one way or another.
Stay back!
After this, you'll start seeing a significant change in the city, as access to the water supply has allowed the Peacekeepers to bring stability and develop the area. There's even running water for the people at street level. And that raises their morale and allows you to replenish your energy on the go. But there's a cost to this. The PKs have a rigid approach to law and order. So while the streets may be safer, it's only safe for those who side with them. So if you get on their bad side... Now let's return to that moment of choice. And instead of killing them, you choose to team up with this group to supply water in the black market. As you will see, this creates a very different set of consequences for the city. With water being a precious currency, it brings you access to new resources and trade. But this in turn attracts the worst type of people to the area. And this is just a single decision, one out of hundreds you'll have to make. But it allows you to carve out your own world, your own city from the apocalypse. Each player's game experience will be unique. And by the way, this is just what happens in the day. At night, well, things tend to get a lot darker.
Dying Light 2, a game I never got my hands on, but it did look interesting, and I intended to. I just never got around to actually playing the game. But now it almost feels like I've got to pick up Dying Light 1 100% just to get the story and then play the second one. This is, we saw some actual gameplay here, so that looks pretty fantastic. Kind of open world or exploratory universe when you're in the safe zone, I suppose, with gangs and different factions fighting for territory and food and all kinds of resources. You're able to pick who you fight for. The peacekeepers, I believe, do it through violence to associate dominance with, you know, keeping the peace, the rebel factions, you know, the troublemakers, getting rid of them by any means necessary for the rest of the people, like a moral dilemma. What I liked about this game, other than the running, etc., what you saw in the first one, and then there seems to be an element here in the second one as well, taking out an enemy type, along with the zombies at night. So the game actually changes as issues in the day become people orientated and situations and God knows what, and then in the night it's another spectrum where the monsters come out to play and everyone's running around crazy kind of thing. So it's interesting there in itself. Sorry, I had something else to say about it. I can't think what the hell I was going to say. Oh, most importantly, what I thought was interesting is, I don't know how corridorish it is or whatever. It's not going to be like a Walking Dead game or whatever, but the choices you make will affect the game. People will die, factions will, I suppose, team up and disband and whatever, and you'll be working for whoever you want to, and it's based on your choices, so it's going to affect the outcome of the game, and it's tailored, so basically no one will have the same experience, which I think is really, really cool, because I would do things differently from you, and vice versa. It is the way it is. I'm really liking the element of it. It gives another dimension to a game, especially in that type of game where the situation is life and death, but it's more apparent. I mean, like I said, The Walking Dead is The Walking Dead, and you make life choices, whatever, but this is a different kind of gameplay, and it's nice that they brought that element of life and death choices into this type of world, and that's they've mixed and matched two different types of elements there of gameplay. To bring about a different experience in this environment, anyway, at least. Guys, I'm not going to go too much further into this. I'm going to give a few honourable mentions for Division 2. For Division 2, looks pretty much the same to me. Tales of Vesperia, which was an anime. The animation looked good until I saw the gameplay. I wasn't really impressed with that. Metro Exodus or whatever, it does look good. I'm not going to put a trailer in for that. I know what that is. I think we've all seen it at this point. And there's a Black Desert, which looks like an MMO kind of thing, not my type of game, like The Witcher with his witches and wizards and stuff like that. Again, it's not my kind of thing, but it does look interesting, but again, it's not my type of game, so I won't be playing it. Session, I think that's a motorbike game. Devil May Cry, which I talked about earlier on, with Microsoft acquiring Ninja Theory. So yeah, that looks good. It's always got great music in it. The character, I don't know if it's Dante or somebody else, I'm unsure. It looks similar to Dante, and I think at the end they showed actual Dante as well. Just Cause 4, I didn't play the third one, but the fourth one's in there. I don't like the main protagonist. I don't like him. He's just unusual. I don't know. I just don't get on with the main character in respect, so I don't like the look of him. But it is just like an open world game, so if you're interested in that. Jump Force is basically anime crossover, including even having Death Note characters in it, but at the same time it's a fighting game, but it does look like it's well done, but again, it's not my type of game. Cuphead 2 has been announced in a not very good trailer, but it's still there. Cuphead 2, I've still yet to play Cuphead. I've got to get around to that, and I'll be getting angry as hell at that game, I know I will. Do you know what? I've actually just seen another game here that I'm going to include. I've got two games to talk about, and one of them is Gears 4. We're not calling it Gears of War 4, just Gears 4 apparently. So let's take a look at that trailer now. Oh, and one more game, Crackdown 3, which I don't think I've included in this. Crackdown 3 for me is a little bit outdated now. It looks outdated. It looks like a Saints Row game, but I'm not really interested in. Yes, I know it's an exclusive and everything, and Xbox fanboys are like, man, it's going to be the great game, going to be a great game. I don't give a shit. It just doesn't look like that interesting to me. It may be good when it comes out. I don't know. I have to see some more gameplay elements of it, but it don't look that interesting to me anymore. I'm sick and tired of the hype, and it's been delayed to February 2019 anyway. I ain't just got an Xbox and I'm hungry for that one particular game. There's so many games been announced here. I'm drooling over everything else here. So it's irrelevant. Crackdown 3, when it comes, it comes, and I don't know if I'll be even playing it. And that's me with an Xbox, by the way, because it just don't look that interesting. I think it's a little bit too outdated for my liking. But hey, that's just my opinion. So I'm not going to have a trailer for that. I think we've all seen the trailer at this point. So yeah.
Something's happening to me. For months now, I've been having these dreams. Nightmares. But I think they were messages.
It's your grandmother's? There's a place up north. I think we can find you answers there.
Where are we going?
Back to where it all began.
Are we the hunters?
I need to know the truth.
Or are we the prey?
She'd never be our enemy by choice. I know that. But what if it's not her choice? The necklace? That's a locust symbol.
I want it out of my head. I want it to stop.
Katie.
Mom!
Cut me loose. Please.
Games play best on Xbox One.
Alright, that was fucking epic, man. You know what? I haven't seen a lot of trailers of Gears. I watched one yesterday. I know it's not I don't think it's the exact same one that we saw at E3. It may be a different one, but that looked awesome, man. I haven't played Judgment and I haven't played Gears of War 4, so there's some spoilers in there if you haven't played them, especially for me or whatever. But I'm not trying to work it out or anything like that. There was a bigger trailer which went on for 5 or 7 minutes or whatever. Which showed you a little bit more in depth. That was kind of a teaser what I showed you there, just to get the narrative out there. But it looks goddamn awesome. Blood, guts, gore, action, fighting. I think Ram's in it. I don't know. It looked like him in there. Maybe you're like, well, obviously I saw him, but whatever. But like I said, I don't know a lot of the previous games, the last 2 games, so I don't really want to speculate. But it looked awesome. So we've got a character here who is her grandma. Left her some kind of artifact or whatever, and it's a locust symbol, and she's having dreams, and I think she's being lured there. Maybe it's a trap. Maybe the long-term goal is to get Phoenix through his wife. We even see a character turning on other characters, so drama all round at this particular game. A game I am definitely hyped for and definitely will be playing, no doubt about it. But I have to get through Judgment first, then we've got Gears 4, then Gears. I think they called this one just Gears. This one Gears, not Gears of War, so I don't know. But it's very, very interesting. Maybe there's some turmoil within the group. The last thing I saw in the last Gears 3, which I was ill when I played that game, but I tried to power through. It wasn't the best playthrough because of my performance. I was very ill when playing it, and I was trying to, work hard for you guys and just put it out there. And it wasn't the best. But I loved the fact in Gears 3, Dom dying. I thought that was very dramatic. The music sounds awesome as well. The backdrop sounds really, really cool. Action-packed, blood and guts everywhere. Hope there's a large variety of weapons, unlike Gears 3. But again, I know you're saying, dude, there is. It's Gears 4, it changed. Well, I don't know that at this point. But definitely a game I'm picking up, and I definitely recommend buying that if you've got an Xbox. It's a must-have for me. I love the series, and I love the Halo series, so two big franchises. The last game I'm going to talk about is Cyberpunk 77. So let's have a look at that.
In 2077, they voted my city the worst place to live in America. Main issues, sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line than anywhere else. Can't deny it, it's all true. But everybody still wants to live here. This city's always got a promise for you. Might be a lie, an illusion. But it's there, just around the corner, and it keeps you going. It's a city of dreams, and I'm a big dreamer.
Well, man, it's been a roller coaster. That was amazing. I just watched the Cyberpunk trailer, as you did. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love it. The world looks amazing. Cyberpunk 77 got delayed for the longest time. Never thought it was coming out. A brand new IP. Fascinating world, rich in its backdrop, its characterization. The universe looks absolutely stunning. It almost looks like Ghost in a Shell, the anime. If you could put Major Kusanagi and Bato in there, call this Ghost in a Shell, that's essentially what it looks like. The weapons look decent. There's flying cars. You got an underclass of people and violence on the street. You got a rich class by the looks of it as well. Well, you have rich and poor in every society, but that's the mainstay of it. There is like I said, the worst voted place to live, but everyone seems to want to live there regardless. Scamming other people, violence, backstreet deals, all kinds of shenanigans, I can't even say that word, going on in that universe. And it's definitely a game I'm definitely looking to pick up. I don't know if it's an Xbox exclusive. It may or may not be, but either way, it is definitely a game worth looking into. I'm looking forward more to Cyberpunk 77, which I haven't really heard too much about in recent years. As much as I've heard Crackdown the past few days. So it was a toss-up between Crackdown and Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk's going to win it for me all day long. But yeah, I don't know too much about the game in itself, like the story and everything. You play that guy, the main character, I suppose, and he does whatever else, you know, but around the universe. It essentially looks like a futuristic version of Grand Theft Auto, but it seems to have been done right. I have a lot of faith in CD Projekt Red, and I think it's going to pay off. It's going to be a massive game, and definitely one people are going to enjoy playing. And imagine the online mode, if there is one, and the DLC that could come out telling stories as well. So it's a rich universe, and it looks very, very promising. The next GTA, the next level, I've got to be honest with you, it doesn't look cartoonish and crappy and gimmicky. It looks solid, a solid foundation for a new universe, and definitely one I want to be involved in either way. That's about it for this video, guys. In general, the Microsoft press conference was solid. You know, I don't expect them to come up with 50 games every year. That's impossible. Maybe in theory you could say that for because they take a while to develop, so a year and then the next year, so they have something to come out. But at least 30 games at least. So a lot of them were third party, but it didn't matter to me too much. They're building for the future, and that's a solid foundation. What they can do now, is build on that future. They purchased the studios, they've got the talent, they've definitely got the money. So now with the future, they can now be ready for the next console generation. I've said this before, it feels like a lost generation, this console generation, where we've been waiting around forever, and this looks like a solid press conference with games coming out. Don't know what Sony's going to have for us. We're going to have to watch that. It's going to be very, very interesting. Who will win, Sony or Xbox? Well, I'm thinking Sony anyway, but Xbox nonetheless did really, really well. A hell of a lot better than last year. If I had to rate this, I'm tempted to give out of 10, Xbox a 7. But then that's only because they did so poorly last year. So if I'm realistic, I'll give them a 6. It was quite solid and above average. I'm happy for Xbox, and you know, I may rag on talk shit about Xbox a lot, but it's only because I want them to do great and to do better, rather. You know what I mean? And compete. And you know, Sony's having an easy ride over the past 2 years or 3 years even, or even this console generation, and it's about time Xbox stepped up, and I think they did that this year. But also they did hint, Phil Spencer said that they were having another Xbox. They sang about creating more Xboxes. I think they're going to keep the same hardware but go with different specs, and then it's going to keep the same hardware but just upgrade it, you know what I mean? Better graphics, better this, better that, and that's what the future might be. All I can say is the next 2 years, I would not invest in a PS4 Pro or Xbox One X, because I think the new consoles are going to come out in the next 2 years. So, but they're in good stead, Xbox, and I think that if they give the people the tech early and stuff like that, these companies that they've already got and these studios that are being built and they've purchased can really start working on the next generation of games, so we have something to play when they come out. I don't have to wait 2 years, you know what I mean? The PS4 generation and Xbox generation was disappointing in 2013, I've got to be honest with you. Games are still seeping out now. So guys, we'll have to wait and see what happens on the Sony press conference. I may do Bethesda. I know Square Enix have got one ongoing now, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I didn't know they were all separate like this. I had no word of it. So I have to break up Bethesda, and hopefully they got more than Far Cry. No, not Far Cry. Hopefully they got more than Fallout or whatever 76, which I haven't said a lot on, mainly because I think it's going to be said at Sony anyways press conference, but it is what it is. There was a lot here. Sorry for all the games I missed, but there was quite a lot. I hope I got a lot of decent ones out there for you and give you my opinion on them, and then you enjoy the trailers. It's taken me 6 hours to put this video together. I don't normally do this kind of stuff. It's new to me, but I am enjoying it nonetheless. Better quality video for you guys, and join me for the Sony review. Anyway, guys, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Take part in the polls in the community tab or Twitter or whatever. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.